What's up, everyone? And today, dang, do we have an interesting, I'd say, special video for you guys. So we have I guess a big, what would you call this? A meeting of three different kaiju-minded channels and people on the internet here. We got GojiCenter.
What's up?
Yeah. We're bringing back the Beast Hub days. Just a little bit here for this video. And of course, we have Gabe. Now, he's been on the channel and a couple cameos, but this is pretty much his first time actually coming on more or less and talking to you guys. So Gabe, say hello to everyone.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? It's your KFC warrior Gabe around Dangerville, and wherever this is going. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. All right, guys, so we're gonna go into this topic right away. So we've been making some videos recently. You know, it's the time of, I guess, a franchise in between movies to where now's the time to kind of start talking about what we want going forward. So we've been making some videos on Dangerville, and I wanted to get some other people's opinions for a change because, you know, why not? So we're going to be talking about what we want from the next, specifically the next MonsterVerse movie. Now maybe we can come back and talk about the MonsterVerse as a whole later, but I just want to know what you guys really want from this upcoming movie with Grant Spator directing it now that Adam Wingard's gone. And we're going to start off quickly with GojiCenter himself, because I think everybody wants to hear what you got to say first. So what's your overall thoughts of what you think the movie should be?
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say what a lot of people have been saying already. And they're right. Bring back Godzilla. We need Godzilla at the front. Everybody rallies behind Godzilla, and I think we should bring him front and center again, leading the MonsterVerse. And I think now with the direction that the MonsterVerse has been taking with, like, you know, the more crazy, more upbeat battles that we've seen in the last two movies, three maybe, I think we're really probably going to see a really good Godzilla movie, seeing what we've always wanted to see him do, you know, beat up monsters.
Yeah.
We kind of did see him do that already in the previous movie, you know, just one-shotting Titans. But I think this time we could do something really special with him. We could probably even expand the lore with Godzilla too. So that's kind of what I want to see. And
You want to see that Godzilla solo movie that everyone's been talking about.
I also want to see a monster that will bring out the best of Godzilla also. Because let's be real, with this last one, Godzilla felt a little bit OP. I do want to see one go like really toe to toe with Godzilla. Shimo was really strong, but she really didn't give off that, you know, evil vibe like Scar King. And then Scar King was really just a ragdoll with a whip, honestly, in this last movie. So if we can have something as strong as Shimo with the character of Scar King, I think that combination would be really good to see.
For sure. No, I agree with that. Gabe, go ahead and give us what you want your overall idea of the next movie to be about.
Well, first off, I'm pretty excited for the next MonsterVerse movie. Of course, the last two films have been more Kong-based. I want them to return to the roots of being more Godzilla-based, as the MonsterVerse first started. It needs to be more Godzilla-based. I don't mind if Kong is in this, which I believe they were most likely going to add it because, you know, monkey, more money, more fans. So if they're going to have Kong in this, I want it to be like what Adam Wingard said last time, where it's going to be Godzilla's adventure, but Kong would be more sidelined with his own thing still going on. So I'm thinking one idea for this film is perhaps Godzilla fights a really like end-worlding threat, an actual world-ending threat. It could be Destroyer or
what Shimo and Scar were supposed to be. Yeah.
It could be that, maybe Destroyer, this new Titan, kidnaps it or something, or kills it maybe. And obviously Godzilla's gonna need some help, and not even gonna cap. The last two Godzilla movies, he's been a bit of a big baby, egotistical, a little bit too full of himself at times. So I'm thinking perhaps in this movie, we could see some, let's say, character development with him. He could grow up here a little bit, maybe go to Kong, into Hollow Earth for help. I really hope they don't fight again, but if they fight again, it'll be interesting. He could go to Kong. He's got an army of apes. He's also got Shimo, and Mothra is down there somewhere, and that's where you can get those side characters back into the mix. And one epic fight, and
All right.
how I want the movie to be. Just this dark themed Godzilla emotional story, traumatic, and some character growth.
All right. Now, you made a really good point there at the end because you said this dark Godzilla movie. And now that's been kind of a big topic. It turns out there's a lot of people that like the new movies, and they're kind of more colorful, less dark in terms of how they feel and look. There's tons of people that like them, but there's a ton of people that want that more dark kind of. I don't even know if dark's the right word of describing it anymore. I feel like we're going to have to come up with another word that kind of combines dark, gritty, realistic, and all that combined so we can have a more proper way of describing this here. But yeah, that makes a big point about the atmosphere of this movie. And I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of craving something, like what Gabe said, a little bit more, I guess, what's the right word? Intimate with your emotions? That makes it kind of odd sounding.
You said you want another definition for dark. Maybe it doesn't have, maybe not dark per se, but like a really, just like a sad emotional story with maybe possible happy ending, like -1. And here's where humans would come into this. Because the last two movies, like, sure, we had some fun humans here and there, but you don't really get into them enough. You keep getting all these other side characters where it's like, oh my god, they're so fun, and you're just never gonna freaking see them again. And not only that, we don't really see much of the aftermath of anything that's happened. Like, I guess Monarch Legacy Monsters is heading that route, and I'm assuming that's going to be like what the spin-off will be for maybe once we get to 2024, 2027, 2028. We see like Monarch Legacy events of the Egypt, Rio, Hong Kong, things like that. I want this next movie to go into more of like just everything that's happened afterwards, like how the humans have suffered through all that destruction. Like, nobody knew that they were going to go into Brazil, so there's got to be quite a bit of casualties for them to talk about. And not even going to cap, Hong Kong, there was evacuations, but there was still a lot of people in that city, and they're just not going to talk about it?
No, that's...
And what about that big-ass hole that's sitting in the middle of Hong Kong? How did they just patch that up?
Yeah, that's a very good point, man. The MonsterVerse has a bunch of just like...
literal giant plot holes that were created by
literal.
Godzilla
I mean,
himself.
that hole is it's thousands of miles deep of a hole, and we're just not going to talk about it. I think that's kind of, I made this video about it, and it's what I think is the biggest issue with the MonsterVerse is just like nothing feels combined. It's all just, every movie seems, other than like we know it's Godzilla and Kong, like the same characters and sometimes the same human characters, they just don't feel like they're in the same universe like every time. So I think that's the biggest thing I want, is just like something that's all combined and not just feeling random.
Maybe this is the best opportunity to bring them all together. This next movie can have elements, the best elements out of each movie, and maybe it could sort of, bring it all together. Because, I think like the dark, and I'm using this word again, dark tone of Godzilla G14, and then with like the more like the better kaiju action that we've gotten in the last two movies, I think that combination would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
I think that's one way that this movie could be executed well. So
here's another, like, a curveball kind of thrown into this discussion right now. So, for damn sure that the people that make the MonsterVerse movies, all of them that, have a stake in it, they've seen how much critical praise -1 got. There's no way that they didn't see that, right? So, like, we know -1, it didn't make as much money as a MonsterVerse movie. It didn't come close to it. That being said, boy, did it get a lot of attention by the fancy Hollywood folk and all that Godzilla has never gotten. So, like, I feel like the MonsterVerse people might be wanting to kind of feel like they need to one-up that, the -1 a little bit. And I think in a friendly competition sort of way. I don't want no hatred. I don't want to get on that sort of, one's better than the other. They're both different. But I think maybe somewhere deep inside, that's why they got this new director who kind of seems like he likes this, quote, darker movie, right? That's I think they might be trying to kind of bring in a story that kind of feels a little bit more important, because like you said, to make a good kind of ending point here, I feel like, all this destruction's happening, and yeah, we're supposed to feel bad for everything that's going on, but I don't. And then a lot of people go and say, well, Jacob, it's because you've watched 500,000 movies about people getting killed and you're becoming numb to it, maybe. But then I go and watch a random, destruction film that I've never heard of before that's just on Netflix. And then I'm like on the edge of my seat a few times. And I'm like, if this random movie that I have no feelings towards is making me feel something towards the destruction and terror going on, but yet the big franchise that I love isn't, then like obviously there's something they can do there to fix that. And I think that's really what I wanted to kind of get across in my videos, and it seems like you guys are on the same page. And this is a big like span of MonsterVerse fans here. We're a pretty good different age range here, and our opinions are on the same. So I want to hear what everybody else watching this video thinks. Do you think, our idea of this kind of Godzilla-focused movie being more, personal, like pretty much just Godzilla -1, but yet with MonsterVerse action? Let us know down in the comments. Now, I want to give one more thing, and you guys both told me that you want a Godzilla solo movie, and you both said it's going to be a continuation after the New Empire. I think what I want is for everything that you guys asked, but I want it to be the prequel that they've been talking about for 10 years, about all this story, all this lore, all this background. I think now's the time to go, and if you want to have a really dark kind of like Godzilla-focused movie, let's go back and see the fall of Godzilla's Hollow Earth Empire. Like that's what I want to really see. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll get the continuation. The fact that they let Adam Wingard kind of go and do other stuff, it makes me think that maybe he'll come back and finish the modern timeline in like 5 years is maybe their idea. Who knows? But that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking we're going to finally get that prequel Hollow Earth 80% monsters movie. That's what I'm thinking.
I wish you're right. That would actually be really darn cool to see, like the story of how the great apes and Godzilla kind of just got some beef with each other. It would answer so many questions. It would satisfy every single MonsterVerse fan to just see like all these freaking Kongs going up against Godzilla and the Titans like Godzilla. I don't know if they're gonna do that. Like the Titans like Godzilla. They might just have Godzilla maybe, because I heard that Toho doesn't want more Godzillas in the movie. Like there just has to be one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in another video.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's gonna be the route, but they may do like a following Godzilla, kind of like your Walking with Godzilla movie, but like just on Godzilla's point of view, and how he runs into all these Kongs, and maybe Godzilla runs into like the skeletons of his ancestors without saying that these two were Godzillas. Like that would be pretty cool,
Oh man, and just think about this as like, okay, we're looking at making the MonsterVerse last longer. Now, I didn't plan to keep talking this long, but you guys got me excited. If we're looking to make the MonsterVerse longer, right? We don't want it to end as a franchise, right? Like the MonsterVerse, they keep treating each movie like it could be the end, but oh gosh, we don't know if it's gonna make enough money. Let's stop doing that, and let's make this prequel thing that gets us super freaking hyped for the next movie. Say in the next main line of Godzilla and Godzilla X Kong's adventure, we get to learn who the big bad guy is in that movie through this prequel movie. Or we get to learn a little bit of like hype for it. So this prequel movie becomes kind of like a big trailer for the grand finale, you could potentially say, of the MonsterVerse, if they wanted to really set up, instead of just having each film feel random, actually kind of make two of them like super combined. I'd say the last two were pretty combined. Say what you want about the new ones. Wingard did good at keeping his continuation going. But yeah, I think that would be cool, seeing the prequel and just to set it up, so where when we get to the newest monster, biggest threat, whatever it could be, because there's only so many times that they can go and say, there's another threat even more dangerous this time. There's only so many times they can do that. Build that fight up, that big fight up with this prequel, and people will go into that movie being like, oh, so now we're gonna see the real the end goal of what we learned in the last prequel movie. So that's what I think, and that's what I would like it to be. It probably won't be, but hey. And yeah, on that note, I think we're pretty much good to go here. Thank you guys for listening to us. If you want more videos,
There is one.
Oh, we got a break in by Gabe. All right, we won't end yet. Let's go, Gabe.
How
Let's hear it.
about some solo films, Mothra, Rodan, and the other Titans? Expand them,
Okay.
and perhaps a Kong prequel. That's another way to keep the MonsterVerse alive while you're building up all these big movies. Go the MCU route. If they're trying to go,
That would be a really good animated TV show.
That would be a really good TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toho, they seem to be getting cool about letting, Legendary use their monsters. So just let them use it more, it's gonna be helpful for everyone if we had that. So Gabe, that's a good idea as well. Finally truly kind of start to get the franchise, firing on all cylinders and stop treating it like each film could be the last. But I'll give the MonsterVerse people this. The last two movies were made during very hard times in Hollywood, and even with everything going on, at least we can say that the last two movies weren't controversial or huge letdowns. So that's a good thing. But anyway, guys, I think now's a good time to end. If you like this video and you want us to get together and have more conversations, I think we're going to do it anyway and talk about multiple different things. That'll be fun. My dogs are barking in the background. If you can hear them, I apologize. Anyway, guys, well, on that note,
Peace.
I'll see you guys later.
Peace.